Nearly 7 months after 2 teenagers were killed at a house party in Arlington, police say several people are now in custody. The shooting happened at an Airbnb the week of Thanksgiving. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke with investigators about what led them to the suspects.
Arlington police tell us this case was complex. Multiple witnesses were at the party, but many were not telling the truth to investigators or just did not come forward at all. But through search warrants, phone records, and interviews, investigators learned that this was a dispute over money. 5 suspects are now in custody, connected to a November double homicide off Slaughter Street in Arlington. A birthday party was being hosted at an Airbnb near AT&T Stadium when gunfire erupted. 19-year-old Dayton Allen and 18-year-old Alexis Tyler were shot and killed. The 2 victims were dating. Tyler was pregnant at the time. Arlington police believe Allen owed the suspects money and the murder was planned.
I don't know the sum amount, I really don't, but no life is worth any amount of money like that.
All 5 suspects were charged with capital murder this week. Arlington police tell Fox 4 the lack of witness cooperation delayed their investigation. Plus, homicide detectives had to wait for warrants to be fulfilled on cell phone records. Police learned the group met up in Dallas and then traveled to Arlington that night. Then multiple people opened fire at the Airbnb and took off. Police say one of the suspects, 26-year-old Diamond Curdy, is related to the male victim. Curdy was arrested by Dallas police on Thursday.
She played a part in the planning stages of this. We're making 5 arrests here. There were 5 individuals that played a role in this, and she was a key element of that plan.
With the help of the U.S. Marshals North Texas Fugitive Task Force, 18-year-old Chrysavion Whitted, 19-year-old Eddie Walker Jr., and 21-year-old Demarion Owens were arrested on Wednesday. The 5th suspect, 20-year-old Shannon Steele, was already jailed in connection to another prominent crime. Steele was arrested in December for a deadly shootout in 2022 outside a Dallas sports bar. The case featured on Fox 4's Trackdown segment.
We were desperate to solve this case in a timely manner. We're just really proud of the tenacity of the detectives. They never gave up.
Arlington police were able to recover multiple firearms during the arrests and also the search warrants, but those firearms are still being tested to see if they are linked to this double homicide or other crimes here in North Texas. In Arlington, Peyton Yeager, Fox 4 News.
For the second time in 4 days, Dallas police are investigating a violent crime on the streets of Deep Ellum. Good evening, I'm Steve Eager. Police made 1 arrest in Monday's shooting. Then this morning, another incident in the very same area, but this time the violence turned deadly. Fox 4's Alex Boyer covered both of the crimes, and he joins us with the latest. Alex.
Hey, Stephen, just a short time ago, the Dallas Police Department identified the victim as 19-year-old David Stribling. Now, the president of the Deep Ellum Foundation tells me by phone that she is really focused on her community today, given that this is the second shooting, as we mentioned, at that popular entertainment district within less than a week.
They have to send somebody.
This clothing store, located in the Deep Ellum Entertainment District of Dallas, was unexpectedly closed for business Friday after a bullet shattered the front door. It's a reminder of the fatal shooting that took place nearby early Friday morning.
For the most part, I feel pretty safe.
Sarah Ferrafino lives 2 blocks away. Dallas police say the shooting happened just after 12:30 a.m. at Good Latimer Expressway and Main Street. Officers patrolling the area heard the gunfire and found a man injured with gunshot wounds. He died at the hospital. Surveillance video obtained by investigators reportedly showed there was a fight before the shooting. 5 to 6 people were involved. That same video showed the victim falling to the ground as others took off. A rifle with a large drum magazine was recovered from the scene. It's unclear who it belongs to, but it was found next to the shooting victim.
You just always have to be vigilant no matter where you live. And I feel like I'm not here typically for nightlife.
The fatal shooting happened in nearly the same spot as another shooting this past Monday, where a woman hit her head trying to escape the gunfire. Later that morning, I talked to the Deep Ellum Foundation president about their efforts to keep people safe.
We have a dedicated task force to the Deep Ellum area for the fact that we are an entertainment district, like many counterpart districts across the country. But we also hire our own off-duty officers, both from the Dallas Police Department and other departments.
In response to Friday's deadly shooting, Stephanie Hudeberg sent me a statement saying, in part, as a mother, my heart goes out to the family. Deep Ellum is first and foremost a community and one that believes strongly in taking care of each other. We work every single day around the clock to promote a safe and inclusive environment that supports our vibrant nightlife and high volumes of visitors. Ferrufino supports the efforts by the foundation and police.
I don't think it's as bad as maybe the perception from people who don't live in the area.
And I can tell you that the foundation says that they're working with city leaders to take what they call urgent action and develop new policies that better support the popular entertainment district. Now, initially, we had been told that 3 people had been detained in regards to this shooting, but in that same press release that we got a short time ago identifying the victim, it also added that this case is going to be referred to a grand jury, adding that the investigation, Steve, is ongoing.
Yeah, quick question, Alex. It sounds like the circumstances could be a shootout type of thing. Have police said that's what it was?
So that's what they're saying, that there was some kind of shootout between possibly 2 groups of people. But then aside from that, have not added any additional details except to now say kind of cryptically that this case is going to be referred to a grand jury, which means that they have somebody that they believe is somewhat responsible for this shooting.
Got it. Okay.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, information is still pretty limited at this hour, but police are saying that right now they don't have any known suspects at this time, but several people were taken into custody for questioning as well. So Dallas police, they do say that the shooting happened just after midnight on Main Street and Latimer Expressway, Good Latimer Expressway. Officers heard the gunfire and found a man injured with gunshot wounds. He was taken to a local hospital and died shortly after. Surveillance video shows there was a fight before the shooting. 5 to 6 people were involved, and the video shows the victim falling to the ground as others take off. 3 men were taken into custody for questioning. A rifle with a large drum magazine was recovered from the scene, and it's unclear who it belongs to, but it was found next to the shooting victim. Now, this is the second shooting in Deep Ellum this week. We first reported on Good Day on Monday that a group of people were shooting at each other near Punch Bowl Social early Monday morning. A woman was caught in the crossfire and injured herself after falling and hitting her head. No other injuries were reported. Dallas police are still looking for the suspects in that incident as well. So if anyone knows anything, they are urged to call Dallas police as soon as possible so that they can solve these 2 incidences that happened in Deep Ellum this week. For Good Day, I'm Ticia Muzinga.
Well, Dallas police have made 1 arrest in connection to the murder of a man in March, but 1 suspect tonight still on the run. 30-year-old Victor Rojas was shot on South Buckner Boulevard. His family says that he'd gone to the gym that night and never returned. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke to the victim's family. Peyton.
Hi, Heather. Back in March, Dallas police didn't release many details on this case. Now this week, they are asking for the public's help. The victim's family is still waiting for complete justice, telling us the last time they spoke to Victor Rojas, he was headed to the gym.
Dallas police posted this wanted poster Wednesday on social media. Investigators looking for 18-year-old Jose Salas Jr., accused of murdering a man back in March. The night of March 3rd, officers responded to a Quick Trip gas station at South Buckner Boulevard and Samuel Boulevard. These stills taken by Fox 4 photojournalist Terry Van Sickle. Police say 30-year-old Victor Rojas was shot and killed, his body found next to his truck and the gas pump.
If they know him and they know where he's at, speak up. It's scary. Totally understand that. It's scary, even for us.
Rojas's family did not want their identities revealed, scared for their own safety with Salas not in custody. Rojas frequented the Planet Fitness next door to the Quick Trip. That night, Rojas told his wife he was going to work out, part of his usual evening routine. But Rojas never returned home. Dallas investigators did not release a motive. Rojas's family says police told them that 2 suspects were attempting to carjack the 30-year-old as he was leaving the gym. Back in April, 20-year-old Alex Hernandez was taken into custody connected to Rojas's murder, but Salas is still on the run.
If they had the heart to do that to him, how are we sure that he or they won't be willing to do that to somebody else's family member?
Dallas police say the search for Salas is part of the department's initiative called Operation Justice Trail. Just last month, Dallas's new police chief, Daniel Como, announced his first major operation, targeting violent felons. Meanwhile, Rojas, described as a hardworking father of 2 young boys and a loving husband.
Losing Victor has been very hard for all of us. But I will say it has been harder for, of course, his wife and his kids.
There is a Crime Stoppers reward for any information leading to the arrest of Salas. And as for the other suspect, Alex Hernandez, who was arrested back in April, we also checked, and he has since bonded out of the Dallas County Jail on his murder charge. Heather?
All right, Peyton Yeager reporting live. Thanks, Peyton. Nearly 80 people were arrested during a 2-month operation in Tarrant County.
The Joint Task Force focused on violent offenders and drug operations. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager has more on the drugs seized. Peyton.
Hi, Steve and Heather. This is called Operation Showdown, one of the largest initiatives we have seen here in the region. All right, federal partners pinpointed 5 hotspot areas in the city of Fort Worth where there's a large volume, a high crime rate of gun and drug trafficking.
They are no longer out there peddling their guns and their drugs.
Acting U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas, Nancy Larson, talking about the 76 individuals arrested in the 60-day joint undercover crackdown, given the name Operation Showdown.
Many of the individuals arrested in this operation are convicted violent felons. Others are in our country illegally and have suspected ties to the Venezuelan transnational criminal organization Tren de Aragua.
Of the 76, 8 were in the country illegally, according to the Department of Justice. 287 firearms were seized, many equipped with illegal machine gun conversion devices. Also recovered 22 kilograms of drugs, including heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, and fentanyl.
The amount of fentanyl seized in this investigation was enough for 240,000 deadly doses of fentanyl.
Federal partners worked with Fort Worth police to identify areas across the city with noticeably high violent crime rates. A collaborative effort among DEA, ATF, U.S. Marshals, and local law enforcement.
I came in, I said, we've got $300,000 extra of taxpayers' money. What's the best way we can use it? Everyone immediately said, let's go to Fort Worth.
Wednesday, Fort Worth Interim Police Chief Robert Aldridge did acknowledge the violence that happened in the city over the weekend, not linked to gangs, drugs, or high crime areas. 5 people killed in less than 24 hours in all 4 corners of the city.
Many innocent people lost their lives. We have some great officers out in the field that are working tirelessly to make sure this doesn't happen.
As for the suspects arrested during Operation Showdown, authorities believe that their trials will begin at the end of summer, early fall. It's also confirmed that ICE was involved in some of these apprehensions. Steve?
All right, Peyton Yeager tonight. Peyton, thanks.
A Dallas-based college says it's now facing online attacks because the man accused in the Minnesota lawmaker shootings was once a student there. The school's leadership spoke exclusively today to Fox 4's Sean Rabb. Sean in now live with new reporting. Sean.
Of course, we're talking about the school in Oak Cliff, Christ for the Nations. They tell me it has been a tough week, so much so they've had to increase security. Everyone knows now that Vance Belter was a student there 1988 to 1990, a perfect student academically and otherwise, no issues. But his actions have created new problems for the school. The president says, look, we've done nothing wrong, we've taught nothing wrong, we teach nothing wrong, and we're standing strong on our faith.
It hits our heart because Our heart is to train these students up, is to prepare them to go into the world to bring Jesus. And when you see the opposite happen, it hits us hard.
And when word spread that Vance Luther Belter, the man charged with murder and attempted murder in Minnesota for attacking and assassinating elected political officials, was a student at Christ for the Nations between 1988 and 1990, we're told a straight-A student, the Bible school found itself in a storm of vitriol.
We got lots of emails, we got phone calls, we were blasted on social media attacking us, saying that shocking things, that we are responsible for the assassination in Minnesota. We've heard phrases like, you guys are the American ISIS, and that you guys are a radical group.
This is not who we are. This is not what we believe in. We're not a cult. We're not teaching violence at all. And we actually do the very opposite. And so we want to get that to the public. We don't want anybody to think otherwise, because we want them to come here and learn the heart of Jesus.
The school has had to increase security because of the anger aimed at it, in part around a statement from Gordon Lindsay, Christ for the Nations founder.
It's sad when we hear people twisting words such as what my grandfather used to say, go every day and pray one violent prayer a day. That's one of the main things that he would say.
And what does that mean? Go on.
It's nothing to do with violence in the physical at all. It's to be fervent and in your prayer, passionate with what you pray about, with your faith, believing the Lord's going to come through, and that's something to do in the spirit realm.
After what has happened, and much of the focus has been on that sentence, do you plan to take that down off your website?
I don't happen to take it. I'm not going to take it down. One thing, now, maybe I'm wrong about it, but I believe that I don't let the public's view and their opinions alter what we believe here. If I have passionately in my heart that the Lord said this is what we're about, this is what truth is, then we will hold on to that.
Holding on to their beliefs and offering condolences to the families touched by unspeakable tragedy in Minnesota.
It's not our heart. We pray for them, and we just want to say we're sorry for what had happened.
Golan Lindsay wants everyone to know that since the school's inception by his grandfather nearly 40 years ago, more than 40,000 students have been trained here and are doing the work of ministry globally. Never anything at all like this. And he adds, whatever happened to change Vance Luther Belter was not something learned at Christ for the Nations.
All right, Sean Rabb reporting live for us. Thank you.
Today, North Texas police and federal agents raided several locations in a crackdown on the sale of illegal THC products.
The Allen Police Department says it executed search warrants at 3 Dallas warehouses, as well as homes in Plano, Carrollton, and Colleyville. Fox 4's Lori Brown reports.
The first time I walked in one of these stores, I couldn't believe it. Yesterday, I was at one of the warehouse locations. When you walk in, it looks like a huge candy warehouse. These are brightly colored packaging, obviously marketed toward our younger generations.
Allen Police Chief Steve Dye is an outspoken critic of THC products he says are poisonous to unsuspecting buyers. His department started investigating the sale of consumables with illegal levels of THC nearly a year ago after the community complained about vape shops.
The first thing we found, and we actually have video of this, are the kids going in and out of the stores. And so that became alarming.
Dye says the undercover investigation found products that are much more potent than marijuana.
The vast majority of the products that we were testing were over the 0.3% legal limit for THC. And then the openness of the clerks and owners to talk to them about what gets you the most high, what's the hottest product.
Dye says search warrants at 3 Dallas warehouses targeted the suppliers.
I've sat down and spoken to the mothers who have children, many of whom are adults now, that are probably never going to have the same quality of life because of using these THC products at a young age.
Officers seized more than 75,000 pounds of THC consumable products.
34.5 tons of gross weight THC. It's truckloads, the cash, the jewelry, the vehicles, and the financial accounts that were seized. It's roughly about $7 million.
The raids come as THC producers and sellers wait to find out if their products will be banned statewide. The proposal is pending before Governor Abbott, with just days left for him to decide what to do with it.
We're very hopeful that once he looks at all that data, that it's really going to lead him to the same conclusions that we've come to.
Dye, who is also with the Texas Police Association, says it's not just manpower, but the cost of testing, which he says is too expensive. As for those with legitimate medical needs, Dye says the bill does expect expand the compassionate use access, which he says allows people to get medicinal marijuana products through authorized locations.
Why would we in Texas ever recommend that somebody goes down to a gas station or a strip center and buys a product that's never been tested or approved by the FDA, that many times the contents in the package don't match the label? That's dangerous for everyone, not just young people.
Lori Brown, Fox 4 News.
Well, what started as a verbal altercation ended in a violent assault by two women against one outside a nightclub, late night club earlier this month. The victim is now fighting to save her eyesight. Dallas police hope you know about the suspects that you're about to see. Fox 4's Sean Rabb has this week's trackdown.
We're in the 10,800 block of Composite Drive outside Mr. Bellagio After Hours nightclub. This is Detective Michael Bowie, Dallas Police Assaults. Detective, what happened here earlier this month?
This has happened early Sunday morning on June the 1st at about 3:23 a.m. My victim have a little verbal altercation with a group of females.
And all of this is on video, sir?
Yes, it's all of this on the video. The suspect approached her in an aggressive manner, and then suddenly she used her fist and punched her to her face, to her eyes, and the suspect, she fell, and then my victim is backed up, non-confrontational, and then the suspect got up, and then she continued to punch her, and then another female suspect joined her, and then she continued to punch her in the face. They led to continue to over here to the next parking lot. She knocked my victim unconscious, and then both the suspects started kicking her and stomped her on the head and caused severely injury to both her eyes.
Tell me about your suspects.
The first suspect is white Hispanic or white female. She is about 5'4", heavy set, and she have a distinguished big tattoo on her left thigh.
A big tattoo on her left thigh?
Yes, sir.
What about her hair? Short, long?
It's a short hair, and we believe that her hair, original hair, is black, but she dyed in the blonde color. The second suspect is a white or Hispanic female. She was wearing a jeans, black shoes. She have a Mavericks jersey with the number 77 in the back of her.
What do you need, sir?
I need the public assistance to help me to identify the suspect.
Is it your opinion that when people see the video, if they know her, they'll know her?
Yes, sir. They will definitely. The video is so clear that they will know who she is. That's what I'm here for.
How can folks get at you, Detective Michael Bowie?
They can contact me at 214-671-3538, 214-671-3538, or they can email me at michaelbowie@dallaspolice.gov.
If you recognize either of the women, especially the heavyset woman with the tattoo on her left thigh, get at Detective Michael Bowie, Dallas Police Assaults. Get at it, his phone number or his email. Help find the women who attacked this woman and left her unconscious here, beaten and bloody, in the parking lot at Mr. Bellagio earlier this month.
And you can watch past trackdown stories, maybe even help solve a crime. Head to the Fox 4 YouTube page, youtube.com/Fox4 News.
The Fort Worth Police Department says it is trying to get ahead of illegal activity around the July 4th holiday, hoping to make celebrations safe and in order. Fox 4's Deion Anglin joins us with more from the city's interim police chief. Deion.
Hi there, Clarice. Well, prevention and heavy monitoring for any trouble. These are among the ways the Fort Worth Police Department aims to make the upcoming July 4th holiday a safe one.
Plain and simple. There's laws on the books. You can't possess them. You can't have them. You can't shoot them off. You can't do anything with fireworks. And so they are illegal in the city limits of Fort Worth.
Before we even get to July, Fort Worth police want to minimize any illegal activity that may pop off.
One thing that is very important to note is that we have a lot of celebratory gunfire on 4th of July. We are doing our best to get people to not do that because what goes up comes down.
Interim Police Chief Robert Aldrich told City Council members there are teams of officers and firefighters currently working with neighborhood groups and apartment communities, stressing compliance with the law. They're also increasing the dispatch staff to include trained civilians to handle the typical surge in police calls on July 4th. In recent years, crime has marred some Fort Worth celebrations. In 2023, 3 people were killed and at least 8 others injured when gunfire erupted following a large July 4th holiday event in the Como community. Chief Aldridge says there will be careful monitoring of events throughout the city.
And the calls that we go to are going to be regulated on the type of calls that we get because they're prioritized. So life and death situations, of course, we're going to handle first. And if fireworks calls, sometimes those priorities go down the list a little bit and take us a little bit of time to get to it.
The department will provide increased officer presence for fireworks enforcement, including a command post for a planned Como Homecoming July 4th event. As well, the annual Fort Worth 4th at Panther Island. The chief says the fire department will confiscate any illegal fireworks as the two have a unique partnership.
We work very closely together. I know on the 3rd of July, we have set up, strike teams and different teams of the police department, but we partner with the fire department so we can have access into those communities if something does happen.
And as always, citizens are encouraged to report any illegal fireworks use. There are a number of ways in addition to a special hotline. There is the website you can use, reportfireworks.fortworthtexas.gov, and there's also the My Fort Worth app. That's the very latest live. Clarice, back to you.
Dion, thanks.
9 o'clock, Fort Worth police are investigating a series of murders that happened across the city over the weekend. Many of the victims were teenagers and young adults. That's a doorbell video capturing the sound of gunshots from an incident that happened late last night, ending with 2 people dead, including a 16-year-old. A total of 5 people were killed in less than 48 hours at 4 different locations in Fort Worth. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager live in Fort Worth with more. Peyton.
Steve, Fort Worth police tell me while all of these shootings are not related, all of the shootings did start with some sort of argument or altercation. The department is increasing patrol in each of these 4 neighborhoods while also trying to still capture the suspects in 2 of the 4 cases.
We are out there, we are watching, and we will get all these suspects and bring them into custody.
It was a violent Father's Day in Fort Worth. 5 people killed by gun violence and 4 unrelated shootings across the city. Surveillance video from 8:45 Sunday evening shows a group arguing outside a home on Asheville Lane in the southern part of the city, followed by the sound of gunfire.
And then they got in heated discussions that it led up to this shooting.
17-year-old Marquavius Hunt now faces a capital murder charge. Police say Hunt shot and killed a 16-year-old and a 25-year-old. An arrest warrant affidavit says the 2 people killed were fighting over a rifle when Hunt opened fire on both using a pistol. Homicide detectives busy on Sunday. Earlier, around 3:30 a.m., 24-year-old Jonathan Martinez was arrested for murder. Investigators were called to Conejos Drive for a domestic dispute. Across town, investigators were called to Forest Avenue just after 9 a.m. Sunday. A victim was found in a backyard. And Fort Worth PD is searching for at least 1 suspect after a party turned deadly just after midnight Sunday. 19-year-old Anthony Rangel shot and killed at a home off Houston Street on the north side of the city. Rangel's girlfriend, Tiara Varela, was also at the party.
2 of the girls started arguing about another guy at the party, and
police believe one of the women called someone. A group arrived and someone pulled out a gun, fired multiple shots, and then took off. 3 in total were shot. Rangel later died at the hospital.
It was so senseless. Like, they could have just grabbed the girls and went home, you know? They didn't have to argue over anything. I feel like that's the only thing that'll bring me a little peace, is knowing that they're caught.
And in that Houston street case, again, no one is in custody. Police are not releasing the identity of the suspect or suspects. Police are still trying to interview everyone who was at the party. It's unclear if everyone at the party is cooperating with investigators. That's still part of the investigation. Steve?
All right. Peyton Yeager in Fort Worth. Thanks, Peyton. Police arrested one suspect, and they're looking for others after a shootout overnight in Deep Ellum.
The shooting set off a panic that left one woman injured. Fox 4's Alex Boyer is at the Dallas Police Department with an update on the arrest. Alex.
Hey guys, and just a short time ago, a Dallas police spokeswoman tells me that they've arrested a 20-year-old man in connection to this morning's shooting. And that spokeswoman also tells me that this suspect was involved in the initial altercation that led up to the shooting. The woman who hit her head while trying to get away from the gunfire, rather, is expected to be okay. At this point, other suspects remain at large. Yellow evidence markers line the street and sidewalk where a violent shootout took place in the Deep Ellum Entertainment District of Dallas early Monday morning. Our cameras captured multiple shell casings on the ground near parked cars riddled with holes. It's a difficult thing to see for Stephanie Keller-Huderberg, the executive director of the Deep Ellum Foundation.
Safety is our top priority, and so no violence, not one incident is welcome in this community. And so for us, it's really about a constant vigilance as we welcome millions of visitors every single year.
According to Dallas police, an altercation broke out between two groups of people outside businesses near Main Street and Malcolm X Boulevard. That turned into a gun battle between two cars as they sped through the strip. Bystanders ran for cover. A woman reportedly fell and hit her head while trying to get away. The suspects took off. People who live and work in Deep Ellum are frustrated when violent crime puts the spotlight on their community. What would you like people to know that might watch this, and see and may say to themselves, another, violent incident in Deep Ellum, I should avoid it?
I think people need to come and see for themselves. This is a vibrant community. There are more strollers here than you've ever seen. This district is operating 24/7, 365. So you're talking about a very small number of incidents in a very small window of time, typically between around bar closing time. That can happen anywhere in the country.
Huderberg says there are over 100 cameras, and the Fusion Center with the DPD is tapped into that. They also have police officers and detectives, security officers, and dispatchers who are directly plugged into that program, working with a common goal to keep patrons safe.
A constant vigilance is important to us, but don't discount a community that's vibrant every single day of the year, that offers arts and culture and live music and over 100 bars and restaurants to eat at, because you see one thing on the news. It simply doesn't do justice to what this community is all about.
And that 20-year-old suspect has been identified as Dante Johnson. I'm told he is charged with deadly conduct. We don't know how many other suspects police are searching for, but anyone with information is asked to contact the Dallas Police Department. Back to you.
Alex, thank you.